I have a very important and maybe for some kind of controversial message for you today. I have been thinking about the workshop that I'm doing on Saturday. It's a meditation workshop, and part of it is chanting the Mool Mantra, which is for eliminating karma. And that's when the spark went on, and I was like, okay, this is something that we need to talk about. And we need to talk about it because we always say, oh, this is a good karma, or this is a bad karma, or karma's gonna come and get you, or, wait a minute, it will come back to you. And sometimes it's not just the karma, sometimes it's just kind of, in a Christian sense, believing in punishment and believing in suffering for our sins. It's the same concept, right? And then in Kundalini Yoga, we often say, in Yogi Bhajan, we often say to eliminate our karma. But what does it mean? What are we eliminating? Are we eliminating the good karma, right? The good things that are coming our way? Or are we eliminating just the bad karma and keeping the good stuff coming? What is that? Well, the truth is, to eliminate karma actually means to elevate yourself higher so that you are not restricted by the karma, by your beliefs of karma. You need to raise yourself higher and stop doing things just so that you get some few good points, or so just because you are scared of punishment. You need to stop believing in this karma. And this is very hard for people. Especially it is hard to even imagine that how come people who have been doing bad their whole life, they're not going to get punished for it? So karma works only if you believe in it. When you stop believing it, it stops working. And when we want to elevate ourselves from our constant reincarnation on our planet and want to go into higher dimensions, higher level of beings, higher level of love, we need to release that idea of that we're going to get punished for something bad, or that we have unfinished business with someone on earth, whether it's in a good way or bad way. That is the only thing that will release us. There are a lot of people that are suffering after they die on certain planes because of the beliefs that they were brought up in. I'm not going to go into details about it, maybe in another video. But, or for example, ghosts, right? They're just souls that believe in karma or punishment, or they have unfinished business in their mind with someone and they need to finish it. Where instead, we should all elevate ourselves into higher understanding, higher consciousness. The universe doesn't stop here. There are so many layers, there are so many different ways of being that we can't even fathom. And one of them is to exist in a complete state of love, complete state of forgiveness. And that means that no matter what you do, you're always forgiven, you are always loved. That is God's promise. So what does the Mool Mantra have to do with it? Well, that's what Guru Nanak was trying to bring us to understand in his poetic way. If you look at the translation of the Mool Mantra, I'm going to read it, okay? And then he really tries to elevate our understanding of who we are so that we can release of that good and bad and, this is going to come and get you and this is happening for a certain reason and you have to work harder to be more perfect. He wants us to understand that we are already perfect. We are already God's children. So this is what it says. Some of you might know it, but I'm going to read it and then just pinpoint exactly the points that release that karma, okay? One spirit beyond moves within the creation, coordinating, consolidating, continually creating. So this is talking about one spirit, one God. And this spirit within me is my true identity. Okay? This spirit is within me. I am God. I am partly God. And that is what is my true identity. And now he describes this spirit in me. It does all and causes all to be done. It protects me through all incidents of time and space. That's clear, right? It protects me. Like no matter what I do, I will be protected. It fears nothing and knows nothing of vengeance or anger. This is important, right? God has no vengeance. That the God in me has no vengeance. We have to let ourselves release that vengeance, release the anger, and be fearless. A lot of time, the vengeance comes or the anger comes because we feel like someone has taken something from us and we fear that they will do it again and that we fear that we are going to lose part of us. And it's not true. We are never going to lose any of us. And the next sentence agrees with that because it's deathless and it comes into form. Our soul is deathless. Not all the souls are deathless. The animals, for example, don't have a never dying soul. They're born and then die. We have the capacity to live on a soul level forever. So, and that's why it is so important to release that karma or to release ourselves of attraction to it or attraction to it, like we have unfinished business in some way with someone. And in itself, it has never been born, right? That's the same thing as being deathless. And that's a hard thing for someone to understand. Beginning never happened. Beginning always was and always will, and he says it later. Flowing through the cycles of birth and death, it moves by its own purity and projection. No one has told us to come here. We have decided to come into this life and we decide whether we want to come to it again. Depending on how we believe in our karma, how we can release of our karma, release of our attachment to this world, release ourselves from thinking that there is something that we need to perfect here or some relationships that we need to finish or some relationships that we need to deepen. We can let go and just go higher. We can go higher and have a different life, have experienced the different consciousness. And when you realize this, it will come to you as a sweet blessing, as a gift, because that gift releases a lot of pain. That gift releases a lot of struggle. And then, in every moment, continue in its continual remembrance. Just remember that. And every moment you live like you are free of your karma. And then he says, from the start, this truth was true. All through time and space is true. Even now, this truth is true. NonAccess ever shall be true. So that means there was never beginning to it. There will be never end to it. And it goes through all time and space. This is the spirit that permeates all beings. And we are going to be chanting this mantra in its original Gurumukhi form. And we are going to really try to understand our higher spirit and try to elevate ourselves on that higher spirit. Release the vengeance, release the anger, be fearless, and understand the deathlessness of ourselves. And that we should act on this earth not just for the sake of living here, but that we should act on this earth and cultivate our soul so that we can have deeper life on the next level, so that we can strengthen or enrich our soul journey in this godly universe. So, I just wanted to let this video out. Whether you want to come to the workshop or not, it's okay, but I would love to invite you. I know it's this Saturday from 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. There's going to be 2 long meditations. There's going to be Kriya, and there's going to be also like a time for discussion about these topics, because I would love to create a community of like-minded, highly conscious people who come together and meet. So please come and join me. If you have time, I would love to see you and meet you and talk to you and discuss all these juicy topics. Okay? Bye. Just want to finish up. I want to say that you don't have to believe me when I tell you that karma doesn't exist, or that you should release the ideas of being punished or being rewarded for something. But promise me that you at least will think about it, that it will stay in your mind, and that you keep your mind open and see instances in your life, or when you read something, or when you meditate, keep your mind open and notice whether it will start making sense or not. That's how it was for me, and it absolutely started making complete sense.